Good morning, Year 2. I hope you're enjoying all your home learning today. It's time for our English lesson now. I would like you to write today's date and skill into your book, please. The date today is Tuesday, the 2nd of February 2021, and your skill is to identify features of a trailer. I'd like you to write this into your book now, please, and then unpause the video when you're ready to begin today's lesson. Okay, the first thing I'd like you to think about today then is what is a verb? I'd like you to discuss this with your talk partner, have a little think on your own, or discuss this with an adult, and even better if you can come up with an example of a verb too. Pause the video now, please. Okay, so a verb then is a doing word, okay? So we might have ran or danced or swimming, lots of examples there of verbs. I'm sure you've come up with lots of examples too. So your starter for today then, add in relevant verbs to these sentences and write them into your book. So in a moment you're going to write these sentences in your book and fill in that missing gap with a relevant verb. Make sure that if you're adding a suffix to your verb, that you think really carefully about which suffix you'll need and also how that suffix is spelt. Okay, so let's have a look at the sentences you'll be writing in them. The fox, something, over the fence. I am something to school today, and I will something at the party. I'd like you to write these sentences in and complete the gap, please, with a relevant verb by pausing the video now. Off you go, please. Okay, so I'm sure you've included lots of different verbs in those sentences. So you might have included then just an example of what you could have included. The fox jumped over the fence. We've used the ed suffix. I am walking to school today. We've used the ing suffix, ing. And I will dance at the party. Okay, well done. This week we are going to be designing and creating our own trailer for a TV programme or film. So it's all very exciting this week. And today you're going to have a look at a range of trailers and look at which ones you like the most and why. So before we do that then, I would like you to discuss this with your talk partner or with an adult, or have a little think on your own. What do you think are the important features of a successful trailer? So what features will we be looking out for it to be a really good trailer? I'd like you to think about this question by pausing the video now, please. Okay, so for today then, we are going to focus on 5 key elements that make up each trailer. These are storyline, characters, setting, the soundtrack and videography. Okay. I would like you to, we're going to go through them all in a minute, but I'd like you to first of all think, what do each of these features mean? I'd like you to pause the video and discuss each of these features now, please. Off you go. Okay, so we're going to go through what each one means in a moment. So we are going to have a grid like this today, okay? And you are going to rate each of those features out of 10 for today's activity. So you can see here then, we've got the title of the film, and we've got those features, those 5 features, which we're going to go through in a second here, and then we're going to give it a rating out of 10. So we're going to give it 10 if you think it's really, really good, or 1 if we think it's not so good, and you're going to rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. So let's see what those features mean then. So a storyline is the series of events that make up the plot of a story. So we think about a storyline really often, don't we? When we're planning our stories or our narratives, we always think about a story mountain, so the opening, and we build it up, and then we have the climax, and then we have the resolution, all the way down to the ending on our story mountain. And these are the series of events that make up the plot of the story. So the whole story mountain builds up a picture of the plot of the story. So that's what a storyline is. We then have the setting. Now the setting is where and when the story is taking place. So we think about lots of familiar settings, don't we? Maybe in fairy tales, like a castle or a forest, all really common settings that we have in stories and in films. We then have the characters. Now characters are the people, animals or creatures in a story. Okay, so we've got lots of different characters. I can think of maybe Little Red Riding Hood, the Little Mermaid, lots of different characters that we can think of. Can you think of a character and tell your partner now? Well done, I'm sure you come up with lots of different characters. The videography then is the process of making the film. So this is almost like the film all put together, and what do we think of the videography? What do we think of it as a whole? Okay, and then we have the soundtrack. Now the soundtrack is the music that goes with the film. Okay, so it's the music that you hear that goes along with the film. So we're going to be working through the activities together today. Okay, so before we begin, we're going to have a look at our steps for success today. So you must identify features of a range of trailers. So you're going to be watching the trailers and seeing if you can spot the characters and the setting and things like that. You should use marks out of 10 to rate each feature in a range of trailers. So we're going to be using that scale from 1 to 10 to give it a rating for each of those 5 features. Discuss which trailer is your favourite and why. We're going to be doing that towards the end of the lesson. And we're also, towards the end of the lesson, going to be exploring what you would have done differently if you were creating one of those trailers. Okay, so you might be thinking about how you might have changed the music, or how you might have changed the characters, or shown maybe a little bit more of the plot in the trailer. We're going to be thinking about all of those things towards the end of the lesson. Okay, so the first thing I'd like you to do then is, in a moment, I'd like you to pause the video, and you're either going to copy this grid into your book, okay, for the Wall-E trailer that we're going to watch on the next slide. Alternatively, you can go into the PDF that's underneath this video on the school website, and you can print this off, or you might just want to open it to have a look and copy it from the PDF instead, if that's easier for you to see. Okay, so I'd like you to either print this off and have this in front of you now, or draw it into your book, please. Pause the video. Okay, right, when you're watching then, I would like you to think about the storyline, the characters, the setting, the soundtrack and the videography. Okay, so they are our 5 features that we are going to be watching and looking out for in this trailer of Wall-E now. Okay, are we sitting comfortably? Oh. Okay.
700 years into the future, mankind will leave our planet, leaving Earth's cleanup in the hands of one incredible machine. His name is Wall-E. After all these years, he's developed one little glitch. A personality. He's extremely curious. And just a little bit lonely. But all that is about to change.
Robot.
10 seconds to self-destruct. You are now free to move around the cabin.
Just a trio? You look gorgeous.
Okay, hopefully you enjoyed watching that trailer then. So, by now you should have your grid into your book, either printed or drawn into your book. And I would like you to complete your grid by rating each feature out of 10. So what did you think of the storyline in Wall-E? What did you think of the characters, the setting, the soundtrack, which remember is the music, and then the videography, which is all of it as a whole, okay, so how it's shown and how it's presented to you, okay? And then once you've done that, once you've rated all of those features out of 10, and you're going to write your number in this box here. So if you thought the storyline was a 7, you would write number 7 there. If you thought the characters were an 8, you put an 8 in there, for example. Okay, so you put your rating in this box here. Once you've completed that then for each of the 5 features, you're going to draw a picture of Wally in the box above the title. Okay, so we know really clearly when we look back at this trailer what film it was and the ratings you gave each of those features. I'd like you to pause the video and complete that now, please. Okay, the next one then, the next film we're going to be, the trailer, sorry, we're going to be looking at is for Peter Rabbit. So I'd like you to write this grid into your book again for Peter Rabbit. So remember with title, you're going to write Peter Rabbit instead of Wally, or alternatively, you can print them out from the PDF underneath this video. Pause the video and do that now, please. Okay, so hopefully then you're ready to begin watching this trailer of Peter Rabbit. Remember, when you're watching, you need to think about the storyline, the characters, the setting, the soundtrack, and the videography. Okay, are we ready? Off we go.
Get ready for some brand new adventures with Peter, Benjamin, and Lily.
Let's hop to it. What could possibly go wrong?
Peter Rabbit.
Hey, brilliant!
Stop, Rabbit!
Brand new episodes of Peter Rabbit.
Not bad for a rabbit.
Weekdays at 4:45 on CBeebies and CBeebies HD.
Find out when we have new clips and build a playlist especially for your channel.
Okay. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed watching that trailer then. So now what I'd like you to do is very similar for what we did for Wally. I'd like you to write your ratings out of 10 in the boxes here next to each feature. Okay, and then once you've completed that, I'd like you to draw a picture of Peter Rabbit just above the title here, please. Okay, so pause the video and complete that now, please. Okay, on to the next trailer then. The next trailer we're going to be watching is Up. Okay, one of my favourite films, all of you do know that. And you are going to be writing, so drawing this grid into your book, or you can print it off using the PDF in the website, and I'm sure you've chosen your method now, so just keep going with whatever method you've chosen. So I'd like to pause the video and complete that now, please. Off you go. Okay, so when we're watching this trailer of Up then, I want you to think about the storyline, the characters, the setting, the soundtrack, and the videography. Okay, are we ready?
Good afternoon. Are you in need of any assistance today, sir?
No,
I could help you cross the street.
no,
I could help you cross your yard.
no.
I could help you cross your... Ow.
All his life, Carl Fredrickson dreamed of adventure. Today, his adventure is finally taking off.
So long, boys! Ah!
Please let me in.
No.
Where are we?
Stop! What is that thing?
Oh, it likes me.
Go on, beat it! Ah!
Hey, look, a dog. Sheep. Uh-huh. Speak.
Hi there.
Did that dog just say hi there?
Oh, yes.
Brown!
I just met you, and I love you.
Can we keep him, please, please?
No.
But it's a talking dog. Whoa, what is that?
Get him!
They're coming!
Russell, give me your hand! Does anyone know where they are?
Disney Pixar's Up.
With my Wilderness Explorer GPS, we'll never be lost. Oops.
Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that trailer then. It is time now then for you to complete the grid for Up. So I'd like you to once again write your rating out of 10 for each of the 5 features, and then when you have finished writing your rating, I'd like you to draw a picture of the characters from Up in the box above the title here. So like I've done here with the characters of Up. Okay, I'd like to pause the video and complete that now, please. Okay, the last trailer for today then. So this one is for the Tigger movie. I'd like you to either draw your grid into your book now or stick the next one in that you've printed. Pause the video and complete that now, please. Okay, so once again then when we're watching the Tigger movie trailer, I want you to think about those 5 features: the storyline, the characters, the setting, the soundtrack and the videography. So are we ready for the last trailer?
Anyone up for a little bouncing? Hiya, buddy bear. That's T.I. double gut.
I've got a mama. Don't you have a family somewhere too?
A family full of Tiggers, you say? Can you imagine it?
I didn't know Tigger had a family.
It appears that he has lost them. Hello, Tigger family!
It's not safe out here.
We must take care to stick together. Hello, I'm Tigger. That's a wonderful title.
Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that trailer then. So last part of this lesson then, so last grid to fill out. I would like you to complete the rating out of 10, and then once you've done that for each feature, draw in the picture of Tigger above the title here. Pause the video please. Okay, well done. You've worked really hard this lesson. You've had lots and lots to do today, and I hope you've all enjoyed watching the trailers. So the last thing we're going to be doing today then is our plenary. So finally, use the features that we have discussed to write a sentence into your book explaining which trailer was your favourite and why. So you can pick which one was your favourite. Was it Up? Was it the Tigger movie? Was it Peter Rabbit? Or was it Wall-E? And I'd like you to write a sentence into your book using those 5 features explaining why. Pause the video please. Okay, the last thing then I would like you to do. Is there anything you would have done differently and why? Now, I don't want you to write a sentence for this. I would just like you to talk to the person next to you, have a little think on your own, or discuss this with your grown-up at home. Is there anything you would have done differently and why? So try and refer to those features when you're giving your answer as to what you would have done differently. I'd like you to pause the video and discuss this now, please. Okay, well done Year 2. I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.